Hey, my Liptons. So I wanted to. So I finally watched the highly anticipated, highly recommended, highly promoted Little Mermaid. Um, this movie let me tell y'all something. I feel like this movie was announced like back in like I don't know, maybe someone correct me, but like I feel like it's back in 2019 or 2020 when this movie was announced. And I know initially this movie was supposed to release a lot sooner than it was, but obviously due to like the pandemic and everything that happened with the pandemic and everything, it really set everything back. So this film was a long time in the making, right? Um Obviously the first casting choice for The Little Mermaid was announced that it was going to be Halle Bailey. And, obviously, I mean, I don't even have to go into it as far as like what the response was at the time when Halle was casted. You already know she took a lot of abuse online and everything like that. A lot of commentators had a lot to say, but it is what it is. Just gotta you know, b- you know, blink out the naysayers and go on about your business. Get your bag. So, for me, obviously, when Halle Bailey was casted, I was here for it. I was here for it. I'm like, listen, Halle Bailey is extremely talented, multi-talented, like amazing singer, has vocals for days. So I was like, she's perfect for this role. You know what I mean? And obviously, yes, represent. Of course, representation matters. But girl, we can't deny the voice. We can't deny the talent that's there. So I was excited for the casting, and I wanted to see the rest of the cast and what they had to say, what they had to do. And I will say, casting wise, I felt like everybody was casted well in this movie. Also, I just want to give you guys like a heads up. In the background, there's like a lot of people playing music in like outside because that's what happens when it starts getting warm outside. It's like the demons come out. So it's like, please excuse the music in the background. Um. So okay, and obviously, y'all already know I've been hyping this movie up. I've been hyping this movie up. I've been talking about it on my channel. I've been talking about Halle Bailey. I've been talking about the momentum, like the music, everything having to do with this because I felt like she needed so much support, and I knew that I was gonna go support this. This is the first Disney live action movie I went to go see in theaters. Okay, I wasn't interested to go see Aladdin in theaters. I wasn't interested to go see Beauty and the Beast in theaters. I wasn't interested to go see Lion King, even though Lion King is not a Disney princess, but I'm just saying. I wasn't interested to go see Lion King in theaters. You know what I mean? I didn't even go see Cinderella in theaters. This is the first Disney princess movie I went to see in theaters. And I'm gonna just say this. I don't regret it at all. I love this movie. I love this movie from the beginning to end. And that's just not me coming from a fan bias standpoint, because I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, you hyped up the movie, so you did that." No, listen, don't get me wrong. My expectations was high, okay, because I have been dragging Disney for a little bit. If y'all guys have been aware, if you guys been with me since the beginning of my channel, y'all will know I've been dragging Disney. I've been saying it when it comes to like Marvel and everything like that. I've been saying, yo, like the CGI is not on point. Like I feel like you know, just like the storylines and like some of the things on that Disney has been doing has been cash grabs and everything like that. So I've been dragging Disney. I've been tugging on Disney's, winkers for a while now. And let's just keep it, because just to make people feel like I'm not being biased, let's be, and I do want to be honest about this. I do want to be honest, truthful to the T. Was this in a way a cash grab on Disney's end? Yes, it was. If you're gonna go like through all of like the semantics, the symptoms, everything, yes. Overall, it is a cash grab. But here's the thing. All these live action Disney movie stuff is all cash grabs. Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, um, Lion King, Jungle Book, Aladdin. Now I'm hearing that they're thinking about making a Hercules live action. You know what I mean? And now they already started casting for Lilo and Stitch. All of these movies are cash grabs now because Hollywood is so bankrupt, like creatively bankrupt, to the point where it's like they don't even want to expand their creativity to give us new stories, to give us new characters, new perspectives, another golden era. They don't want to do that. So they're resorting to what was popular, what was like, what got, the general public hooked to what we see Disney today. So they're just basically pumping out their old content and just trying to, try to give it to us in a more futuristic standpoint. And yes, it is a cash grab. It most definitely is a cash grab. You know what I mean? So, and I say that for Little Mermaid too. We're gonna talk about it from a business standpoint. Yes, this was a cash grab. Okay, if we're gonna talk about it from a, because I know people want to point it out. Oh, she's black, and Ariel's black. Did Disney do this intentionally when it comes to the casting of Halle Bailey? The fact that she is a black woman. Yes, I believe that also. I believe that 1,000%. I do believe, yes, they saw, and I'm gonna get to the talent. I'm gonna get to the talent part, obviously, in the end of it. But it's like they saw the image, and I do believe that Disney was like, you know what? Because they already listen. Disney knows what the black dollar can do. Okay, Disney knows that. They saw that with Black Panther. Okay, they saw that with Black Panther. They saw what the black dollar can do. And I'm not saying that obviously, people from other races, white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever. Of course, they all contributed to that, but they saw the push, the motivation that the black community had for Black Panther and everything like that. So they were like, we like let's also play on the people's emotions on all sides. You know what I mean? Let's create the outrage enough to get people motivated, and whether that be to go see it out of love, whether that be to go hate watch it, whether that be to whatever, to go in it with a with a neutral mind and not have criticism as of yet until you watch the movie. That's what Disney wanted to do. So yes, did they also look at race? And there was like, oh, let's stir the pot. Let's stir the pot. Let's get some tea. Let's get the people talking about it, because I feel like in a way with Disney, all publicity is good publicity. So yes, I do think that they also saw it from a race standpoint. Do I also think that they saw it from a talent standpoint? And I say yes. If you listen to Rob Marshall's the press tour, everything like that, he said that obviously because he saw Halle Bailey came to audition. She was the first one to audition. Okay, go look that up. She came in, obviously they saw her, clearly they see her face, they see her race, they see her hair. Okay, they're like, okay, so there's a black girl coming to audition. And they said that this girl opened her mouth and started to sing. Because they asked her, do you want to act or do you want to sing right now for the part? And she was like, oh, I want to sing, because Halle Bailey's a singer. They said that when Halle Bailey started singing Part of Your World to them in that casting, in the auditions, they were just like, oh my God, this is Ariel. I feel like we really need to consider all the components when it comes to this. Yes, it was a cash grab. Yes, they did see it from a race standpoint. And yes, they also saw it from a talent standpoint. Y'all can't deny Halle Bailey's talent. The talent is there. The vocals are there. And we're not talking about no whack ass vocals from these other. And it's no shade. It's no shade. But I have to be honest. And I'm gonna talk about it in a different video. And I'm gonna rate these Disney princess movies and all these live action movies. Halle Bailey, when you there's no shade. When you watch Aladdin, when you watch Cinderella, when you watch Beauty and the Beast, Halle Bailey is blowing all of those girls out the park when it comes to the singing. Like let's keep it a stack. And I know people are going to be like, oh, well, Halle Bailey's an artist. She's a singer, da da da. Guess what? Naomi Scott is also a singer. And I like Naomi Scott. I like her very much. But Naomi Scott is also a singer too, last time I checked. She's been in the singing range for a minute. Emma Watson, to this day, I don't understand why they casted her as Belle. She is not a vocalist. She looks nothing like didn't even embody Belle at all. But then again, that whole cast did not embody Belle. I'm going to talk about all of that in a second video when it comes to these Disney live action princesses. Didn't like it. Awful. Beauty and the Beast was terrible. Cinderella, the live action, let me just keep it. I started it. I didn't finish it. I want to finish it to have my review. Because I know a lot of people like that movie. So I'm gonna talk about it. Mulan, I'm gonna talk about Mulan too. Because, that wasn't so much like vocals or anything like that. But I'm gonna talk about it in a separate video. So, Halle Bailey is talented. And we need to be honest about it. Okay? Halle Bailey's performance in The Little Mermaid was amazing. She ate that. The acting, the singing, the emotion, she embodied what Ariel was supposed to be, but in her own way. She also modernized it. She also made it her own. You know what I mean? In a way, when I was looking at Halle Bailey's performance tonight, when I went to go watch this movie in the movie theaters, I was thinking to myself, this isn't Jodie Benson's Little Mermaid. I felt like this was Halle Bailey's Little Mermaid. Halle Bailey is Ariel. She is Ariel. She delivered in this movie. And I want to give Halle Bailey her 10s. And honestly, we really need to, she endured a lot. She faced a lot. And I know she's trying to be happy and trying to be like, oh, I got abuse and everything like that. But, I had this, I had that. You got to tune out the noise. But I do feel like she was hurt when she saw those comments and everything like that. I think that she was definitely hurt by what they were doing. So it's a sense of us rallying behind her and us giving her her 10s and also telling her girl, you're freaking talented. You're a vocalist. And Halle Bailey served as vocals in this movie. Okay? So I need to give this girl her 10s. I want to talk about another person real quick. And I'm going to go into it by order. I'm going to it by order, and I have this picture of them instead of the movie picture. But this is, I'm so sorry, y'all. I do not have a solo picture of Jonah. I don't know why. But I want to talk about Jonah Hunter King real quick. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I would say for Jonah's performance, in a way, I won't say my expectation was low, but it was at a moderate because I just didn't know what to expect. And I have to be, y'all, Jonah and Halle's chemistry in this movie was top tier. They stole the show. And I'm going to talk about Vanessa McCartney in a second. Halle, and of course, you expect Halle and Prince Eric, quote unquote. Well, in animation, I guess you could say it was Ariel and Ursula that stole the show in the animation movie. But Ariel and Prince Eric stole the show in the Little Mermaid live action. I felt like their chemistry was on point. I feel like their delivery was great. I feel like Halle Bailey and Jonah acted well together. I thought that it was smooth. Nothing felt cringy. You can tell that these two had genuine chemistry. And I think that they had a lot of fun filming. You can tell that these two genuinely like each other. Like, as professionals, personally, I thought that they were great. Everything felt authentic, is what I'm trying to say. And I need to give Jonah his turns. Jonah acted well. In a way, he's kind of giving me like Bridgerton. It was always like a little bit Bridgerton tease, a little bit, you know. Jonah also served us vocals. Okay, he served us vocals, honey, in the movie. I was not. I mean, I'm gonna talk about the soundtrack at the end of this thing because I do need to talk about it. But he served us vocals. He served us emotion. And you can tell that he was really speaking through his eyes when it came to like the scenes, and like when it came to like just with Halle and his parent, his mother, you know, even on the ship. I honestly, if these two were to be in another movie together, I would support it 100%. I think that these two have amazing chemistry, great acting, just beautiful. And honestly, Halle Bailey and Jonah stole the show in the movie. The prince and the princess stole the show. And I have to give both of them their 10s. Loved every second of it. Loved every second of it. Okay. Who do I want to... Should I... Okay, you know what? Let me talk about Sebastian next. I'm going to talk about, Melissa McCartney last. Okay, y'all. Sebastian, I would say, was more so the comedy relief in this movie. I think that his one-liners were great. The guy that plays Sebastian, David Diggs, I thought that he was great. I thought that his accent was great. You know, his lines is, yeah, it definitely didn't feel corny. It didn't feel like, it was just like, oh my God, like Roll's eyes. It felt cool. Like, it was one of those things where it's one of those like uncles that you have where it's like they're funny, corny funny. I liked Sebastian in this movie. I thought that his lines were, there are times where his lines were just super funny. It was just like, oh my God, it's like, he's so funny. Like, he's just like, just trying to like get the people together, like trying to get Ariel together, because it's like King Triton. Oh my God, King Triton was just sending Sebastian around, and Ariel would not listen at all. So I gotta give Dave Diggs his props when it comes to the acting in this movie, because I think that he did well as Sebastian. I loved him. King Triton. Here's the thing. I liked Javier Bardem's performance as King Triton. I felt like he looked the part. I thought that his delivery was great. I thought that, I will say this though, I wished the Daughters of Triton did have more lines. I wish they could have had a little bit more in the film, instead of like, they seem like more like background props instead of like within the story. And I think that we should have got way more with the Daughters of Triton. But I think that Javier Bardem's performance as King Triton was good. I loved his performance. I thought that he was just, he acted exactly what I thought that he would have acted, and I love that. I love that. So I thought that he was good. Okay, Aquafina as Scuttle. Here's the thing. Y'all, if y'all are new to my channel, y'all would know I am not a fan of Aquafina. I think that she's corny to me. I think that she's also a cultural appropriator, no shade. And I think that she's just not as talented as people portray her as. So at first, that when they said that they were casting her in this movie to play the bird, at first I was so aggravated. I was like, girl, like, are you serious? But then again, I was like, you know what? She's playing a bird, and Aquafina is a bird in real life, so it's like, yeah, let her play the bird. she came into the film. I mean, like, Scuttle was whatever. Like, it was whatever. She had a few lines that it was kind of like you got a little chuckle out of it with her interactions with Sebastian. So you did get a chuckle out of it, I will say. But overall, I felt like Scuttle was like whatever. Like, he was just there. And I never talk about this too in the soundtrack. Like, I did not like the fact that Scuttle was doing background vocals for Kiss the Girl. Like, that really pissed me off. Like, I'm gonna talk about it. That really, really pissed me off. I did not like that. I did not like that at all. I felt like they should have never put Scuttle, like, and on top of that freaking Scuttlebutt song, like, okay. I mean, Scuttle was okay. He was okay. Whatever. Okay. Melissa McCartney. I will say this, y'all. Out of all the performances of The Little Mermaid tonight, I think that Melissa McCartney's performance was the most disappointing. It was boring. It was forgettable. Nothing about Melissa McCartney's performance was memorable in this movie. And I hate to say that. I hate to say that because I like Melissa McCartney so much. But her performance in Little Mermaid, the live action, she felt invisible in a way. She felt invisible. I felt like I could have honestly watched Hallie and Jonah, Prince Eric and Ariel just have their interactions and have their moments, and not miss Ursula. You know what I mean? I feel like I could have done without Ursula in this movie in a way. We could have just done like a thing where it's like, Ariel, wanted to go up in the sea, King Triton feeling some type of way, Eric, da da da, and I think that nothing would have, I would have never felt any kind of way because I felt like I wasn't really missing her, And I think that when Melissa McCartney, like when Ursula came onto the screen tonight in this movie, it felt like, oh yeah, there's Ursula. Yeah, I forgot about her. Yeah, I just realized that she's supposed to be in this movie. It didn't feel that there was no sense of urgency when it came to Melissa McCartney's character, Ursula. Okay? There was no sense of urgency. I felt like her delivery, don't get me wrong. I think that Melissa McCartney was trying, she does her acting like how she does her acting. But there were times where I felt like she was trying a little bit too hard. Okay? I felt like she even the way Poor Unfortunate Souls was delivered, I'm sorry, y'all, I wasn't feeling like it was. I think she sounded good. I think she sounded great. It's just, it felt very slight. It felt very like calm. It didn't feel evil. I don't know how, like, it didn't feel, the song didn't feel villainous in this movie compared to it was in the animation. Okay? And even the scene, and obviously spoilers, when she's going at it with Ariel and Prince Eric and King Triton, and when she became a giant and trying to kill all these people and that sort of thing, and kill Ariel, it still didn't feel climactic. What felt climactic, and we're gonna be honest, what felt climactic was the scene where Vanessa, and honestly, maybe we should have got more of her. If we're gonna be honest, we should have got more of Vanessa instead of Ursula as a whole. Maybe got a couple of scenes from her and Ariel and Prince Eric, but that one scene where, I don't know if it's their engagement party or something, Ariel comes, they have a cute little cat fight. Prince Eric is like, oh, Ariel, I didn't know you were. I like that scene. I like that scene. And the way that the actress, I need to find out what her name is. The actress that was delivering The lines for Vanessa, I thought that she did a great job. There was emotion on her face. She was serving more emotion than Melissa McCartney. And that was supposed to be Ursula in human form. So I just felt like Melissa McCartney's performance was forgettable overall. And I'm mad I didn't let her little electric, I don't know, what do you call them? Serpents, whatever. Didn't like, it's like didn't make them talk or anything. It just felt bland. It felt blah. It didn't feel like, wow, this is like Ursula. Like, it felt so like, it didn't feel, there was no aura around her the way it was in the animation. It felt very flat. And I think that her performance was the most disappointing. And I hate to say that. She looks, don't get me wrong, when it comes to like the look, the makeup, they did, that's the thing to me. The CGI was eating in this movie. I don't know who was so, well, except for let me be honest. Except for the part where Ursula becomes big and comes out the ocean and is like this big ass giant. That's the only time I felt like the CGI was a little bit wonky. But overall, the CGI was eating, the makeup was eating, the costumes, the dresses, everything looked great. So Melissa McCartney looks the part. It's just that her delivery was just flat. Like it was whatever. It was whatever. The whole, even her poor unfortunate souls, it was just whatever. You know? And that's unfortunate for me. But I do want to talk about, because I do want to talk about the soundtrack, and I think I'm going to start closing out. The music in the movie and the soundtrack overall. Here's the thing. They definitely had some new songs in this movie. They added some new songs. Normally, I'm not a fan of new songs in the live actions. I didn't like it when they did it for Aladdin. And in a way, I could have done without one or two songs in this movie too. First of all, I would say this. Okay, let me just start with the songs I could have done without. Number one, most definitely, I could have done without Scuttlebutt. Get Scuttlebutt's song. When Scuttle was just going on and on, Scuttlebutt, and when finally Ariel put that blanket on what's her face, Scuttle and Sebastian, I was like, yes, thank the Lord. Shut those things up. I don't want to hear it. I'm so sorry. I do not like Scuttlebutt. I think Scuttlebutt is very childish and stupid. I was over it. They could have cut that song out the playlist. And I know people are gonna be surprised when I say this. Here's another song I felt like I could have done without. I could have done without Uncharted Waters. Here's the thing though. I love the song. I love the song. First of all, we need to talk about it. Hold on. Let me bring them back up here for a second. Let me bring them back up here. Let me bring the married couple back up here. First of all, they started out with those harmonies. Halle Bailey started off with those melodies and harmonies. You guys need to go listen to the soundtrack, okay, for Uncharted Waters. Halle Bailey, she was melodying to the T in that song. I was shocked. And that's the thing. I feel like nobody's more shocked than me when it comes to Jonah's performance in this movie. I did not think that his performance was going to be that good. Go away. Go away. I'm doing a video. Go away. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry, y'all. Because I was not about to stop this video to handle him. But nobody's more shocked than me when it comes to Jonah's performance. Of course, Prince Eric, he has his role in the animation and things like that. But Jonah, he ate this. His like first from what I know that he's not a singer. Like I mean maybe he is. I'm not sure. He's not the but from what I know, I don't think he is a singer. And I think that he went to go take some vocal classes because even though his range could have been a little bit more better, but it was there. Like he definitely was pushing those vocal cords out. And I felt like his emotion was there. That's another thing too. The emotion was there. And the way Halle Bailey had those melodies and harmonies in the background of Uncharted Water. Like it was like with Jonah, it was already on like a 7.5. When Halle Bailey came in there with those harmonies and melodies, it took it to a 10. A 10,000%. They worked so well together. And I know they had a blast making that song because they did what they had to do on that song. Now, the reason why I say that I felt like the song I could have done without the song in the movie. If they wanted to keep it for the soundtrack, that's fine. But I felt like within the movie we could have kind of done it because I felt like the movie was a little bit longer than it should have been. Because there was a lot of songs. Like, you had Part of Your World, you had Under the Sea, you had Kiss the Girl, you had Scuttlebutt, you had Uncharted Water, you had the I forgot what song it was, the Gravity song when she got out to see it. She was just like, oh, in a way, I feel like that song should have been kept in there because it's like she needed that. You know what I mean? Poor Unfortunate Souls. That's a lot of songs. In a way, I was thinking that this was like some kind of Bollywood movie. I'm like, God damn, maybe I need to have Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan pop out here a little bit because it's like, this movie had a lot of songs. So that's the only reason why I say that. I'm not saying that I could have done without the song. Like, just remove it out of everything. I'm just saying that for the movie, I feel like they could have cut it out and left it there on the soundtrack for us to listen to, like on Spotify or something. But overall, I love the song. I love the song. I was so surprised at Jonah's vocals. His range was there. It wasn't 1,000, but his range was there. I could see that he had a lot of emotion when he was doing that song, and the way Halle Bailey came in there. Just beautiful, 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 beautiful. I gotta give them their 10s. Here's the thing. I need to talk about the guy that plays Sebastian. I need to talk about him real quick. Listen. At first, I listened to the soundtrack before this movie came out. Days before the movie came out. I was thinking about waiting till I saw the movie to listen to the soundtrack, but I think that literally my friend pressured me to listen to the soundtrack, so I was like, fine, I'll listen to it. When I listened to the soundtrack, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I was disgusted I Kissed the Girl. And I did not like Under the Sea on the soundtrack. I was like, why does he, it felt like he was, on the soundtrack, it felt like, David Diggs was like, he was trying a little bit too hard on Kiss. Well, he was trying a lot too hard on Kiss the Girl. And Kiss the Girl is one of my favorite songs. Doing the animation. I felt like he was trying way too hard. Kiss the Girl, like it felt like he wasn't. It wasn't even natural the way he was coming off, and the fact that they had Aquafina's annoying ass doing background vocals, and you had Flounder. Whoever's playing Flounder, it's no shade. But like they had both of them doing background vocals. And I'm like, where is the other birds, the other creatures when they didn't even have like the sha la 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 my oh my, and they didn't have the yeah. Like that's what I liked about the original Kiss the Girl. Like when they had those little harmonies that they had in there, in the original Kiss the Girl, like, and they had people like they actually had actual like singers to actually harmonize and put a little bit of ad-libs here and there. I didn't get that for this live action Kiss the Girl. And I was so disappointed. In the soundtrack. The same goes for Under the Sea. I felt like David Diggs was trying a little bit too hard on Under the Sea. I felt like he was just doing a fake accent, a fake Caribbean accent. You know what I mean? and I was seeing through it. So his delivery was just flat, and I didn't like. I'm sorry. Like, I feel like they should have kept a lot of the ad libs in both songs. They should have kept the ad libs in Under the Sea, and most definitely they should have kept the ad libs for Kiss the Girl. And I know they try to do a little bit of something with Halle Bailey being on Under the Sea, like her vocals too. But it's like, I feel like it did nothing for the song. I feel like it did, and that's coming from me. And I love Halle Bailey's vocals, because I feel like Halle Bailey sounded great on everything else. But for Under the Sea, she wasn't necessary. And then for Kiss the Girl, I thought that it was just horrendous. So when I went to go watch the live action tonight, Under the Sea kind of grew on me. The live action version, it grew on me. I was like, okay, sounds a little bit better. Maybe because of like the dramatics and the different sea creatures and everything like that was just, it was just kind of like hyping up the whole thing. That's probably why I'm like, it kind of sounds a little bit better now. But child, I still prefer the original version, the original animation version of it. But Kiss the Girl still sounded the same to me. I still hated it. I felt like Aquafina should have never been. No, she should have never been the background vocal for that song. I don't think the guy that played Founder should have been the background vocal. Had any kind of verse on the song. She'd never even been singing along. Have actual vocalists, actual singers ad libbing, doing all of that for y'all, instead of having Aquafina, who can't even sing, having her annoying ass raspy voice on this thing. And I didn't like David Diggs, his delivery in the song either. I don't know. I was disappointed. in, Under the Sea is one of the most iconic Disney songs of all time. One of the most iconic ones. So for it to be butchered in that way, I wasn't feeling that. And it mostly came from David. Like, there was no ad-libs. There was no harmonizing. There was no... like... Under the Sea and Kiss the Girl in the animation had a lot. There were also some climactic moments within those songs. I didn't feel any climactic moments in these songs for the live action. I felt it for Part of Your World, though. I felt like Halle Bailey's song Part of Your World was amazing. That's what Sebastian should have served us for this live action. So, yeah, I wasn't feeling that. And it's sad because I was like, those are my two favorite songs. But yeah, y'all already know Scuttlebutt was stupid. I don't know why would they even include that dumb song in that movie. But like I said, Poor Unfortunate Souls, Lord have mercy. And like, you can even tell that they cut the part where it's like, where Ursula is like, oh, you have your face. Like, first of all, Halle Bailey didn't even sign on the dotted line, the contract thing. They didn't show that. They didn't put in, oh, you have your face, you're perfect, whatever, your body, and don't underestimate the importance of body language. Like, they didn't put that there, and of course, people are gonna be like, oh, because he wanted to modernize it and do this and that and that. And it's like, and that's one of the reasons why the song fell flat, because I felt like we needed a climax, and I felt like there was no climax. But yeah, it sucks because those were, Under the Sea, Kiss the Girl, and Poor Unfortunate Souls. Those are the iconic songs, and I felt like it was whatever. Everything fell flat. However, though, let's talk about the songs that did hit. As you already know, we already heard Part of Your World. Halle Bailey ate from vocals, everything. Like, she just delivered on the vocals. We need to talk about Vanessa Strick. Halle Bailey, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't be getting into Halle Bailey the way I've been talking about. Y'all need to go listen to Vanessa Strick. Halle Bailey delivered like siren vocals on that. The actress didn't even trust herself to sing that. She was like, listen, get Halle Bailey to sing this part. I don't got time for that. Absolutely not. She delivered on that. I like that little gravity. I need to find out what the name of that song is. But the gravity song is like, I'm walking on gravity. Da, 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 da. And that's a new song, so it's like I'm trying to learn the lyrics of that song, but I like that song too. And I like Uncharted Waters. I do. I love that. I love that on the soundtrack. I think that her like Halle Bailey and Jonah, they're a really great pair. They're a really great pair. And I hope that they work more in the future. I really do. But yeah, overall, if I were to rate this movie, because there are a few flaws. There are a few flaws. So I will rate this movie an A minus. I'll give it an A minus. I think that it deserves like a 90. Yeah, a 90. A minus. I think that if I feel like Halle Bailey and Jonah, let me bring them up again. Halle Bailey and Jonah really carried this movie. They carried it, and I think that if we didn't have these two, I don't think that I would have gave this movie. And their acting, I feel like they really committed themselves to this role. I don't think that if we didn't have these two, this movie would have been at the level it would have been for me. And we're talking about not only acting but singing. Like, these two really worked as a team, you know. Also, is just a side note, I need Jonah to grow out that hair. Listen, we were all thirsty for Jonah in this movie. Jonah looks so fine in this movie. He was a little bit more buff now. Like, I know they were working out and everything like that during the process of this film. But he had a little bit more buff. He had some curls. He was definitely looking like a snack. Jonah needs to grow. And I know he shaved his head due to for I think for a role that he's playing. But hopefully he grows that. He needs to grow that back. He needs to grow that back. Yeah. He needs to grow that back. The girls are, where we like what we liked what we were seeing in this movie. He looked real good. Too good. So, and Halle Bailey looked amazing as usual. But yeah, that's how I feel about the soundtrack though. Honestly, if we're gonna rate the soundtrack, if we're gonna be honest, the soundtrack by itself, I would give it like a good 7 out of 10. You know what I mean? Because I feel like some of the songs just fell flat. But it's just like Halle, because Halle Bailey's a vocalist as it is. So you expect her to do well. But for Jonah not to be a vocalist, but yet he's blowing freaking David Diggs and Melissa McCartney out the park. When it comes to the vocals, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all should have been vocal training. I mean, David Diggs is good, but it's like it didn't feel authentic. And then Melissa McCartney just fell flat over. Like, honestly, her whole performance was flat. And I hate to say, but I will be doing my Disney, Disney Princess, Disney live action reviews, top to bottom. But if I'm gonna keep it a stack, if I'm gonna be honest, if we're talking about Disney princesses, I'm not talking about Disney live actions, Disney princesses. So far, to me, Little Mermaid is the best one. I will okay, for now. I'm going to do my rating. I'm going to talk about it in a different video, y'all. So make sure you guys watch out for that. But that is my Little Mermaid review. So I just want y'all to go watch this movie. Go support it. Go get y'all thoughts. Don't listen to the naysayers. Go give it a Google review. Give you guys reviews. Tell me what you guys think. If you guys watch the movie, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Please subscribe to my channel. Let's get up to 500 subscribers. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.